Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass niggas.
Damn!
I mean, she just like...
Oh no! Oh no!
It's bold!
Bro, Brett Cooper has her lines to say that she was fed by the Daily Wire, but she still knows it's base. She still knows it's funny. Look at that. Look, dude, she's not upset. Look at her face.
Ew.
Bro, Brett, you know that it's funny. You know that it's funny. Stop it. Okay, guys, if you can still see me smiling, it's because I just finished watching this video of Brett Cooper's analysis to this girl that's been going viral on X. Also, I've been reading your guys' comments. It's amazing to see how many based people are discovering this channel, or, you know, enraging the NPC feminists, but that's just, as one person said, a very, very good sign. Brett Cooper, it's very rare that you see, like, a hot girl on the right get extremely upset, not extremely upset, annoyed, or become allegedly enemies with another really hot girl on the right. It's kind of like watching two girls in a wrestling match, both of them wearing bikinis, but in this situation, one of them is actually just more based than the other, and I have to call out Brett Cooper for not being based enough. This video is gonna get wild. Let's go.
I'm Brett Cooper. So guys, there is a big controversy on X this week.
Again?
Concerning a so-called trad wife, racial slurs, and the woke mob. So
Okay, racial slurs, really? You think that's the biggest part of who this girl is right here? I don't think so.
a girl on TikTok recently went viral for casually dropping the N-word in one of her videos, and when she was called out on it, she doubled down. And then she was kicked off of TikTok, fired allegedly from...
Guys. It's not what, okay, look, I'm not defending necessarily using, well, maybe I am in the sense that I don't think it's as big of a deal as it used to be. I personally find it distasteful, but specifically in comedy circles, which comedy, since Andrew Tate, has gotten more and more interlaced with providing actual messages. 50% of what Andrew Tate does is just pure comedy, and so he can attract the attention of young men. And let's be honest, really politically incorrect comedy is severely lacking, especially on our side of the internet.
Her job, and is now making the rounds in some parts of right-wing media. And we have to talk about it because this is absurd, and this is not somebody that we should be idolizing whatsoever. Before we dive into the story, though...
That's really low resolution, Brett Cooper, because it's not that we're idolizing her, it's that we're listening to her. And you're going to see what I'm talking about here in a moment. It's that we're not celebrating her getting fired, and we actually agree with many of the points that she's making. Just because she uses a specific word doesn't mean that the rest of what she has to say isn't worth listening to. And it's again disappointing to see this same message that is falling short of the free speech standard coming from the Daily Wire.
Here it is, the now deleted controversial video from Lilly.
Dude, this is so funny to watch Brett Cooper react to this, because you would think that she'd get that it's funny. You'd think that she'd understand how funny this is.
I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass niggas.
Damn!
I mean, she just like...
Oh no! Oh no!
It's bold!
Bro, Brett Cooper has her lines to say that she was fed by the Daily Wire, but she still knows it's base. She still knows it's funny. Look at that. Look, dude, she's not upset. Look at her face.
Ew!
Bro, Brett, you know that it's funny. You know that it's funny. Stop it.
I mean, she just like... It's bold!
You know what it is? Is the producers, who are all men in her studio. Yeah, I know they're all men because I'm a Brett Cooper fan. Sue me. They're all definitely laughing behind the camera. So she's looking at their faces. They're all like cracking up, and she knows that that's funny, dude.
Like, it's very, very bold, and she posted it, and she got away with it for almost a month until people started seeing her video and
You got away with it. That is a very leftist line. You shouldn't have to get away with opinions that you have in order to just, like, exist in society. You know what I mean? You should be able to think what you want, say what you want.
Like, wait, what now? Like, who are they married
I don't agree with lots of people on the right, but I don't say they should get away with it or not get away with it. That's just really tyrannical and leftist cringe.
Picking up, people called her on it. And you know what she did? She freaking doubled down. This is what she posted next.
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me,
Guys, who's hotter? I think this girl is really, really hot. I'll be honest. And let's not lie about where our priorities are here. That's one of the most important elements of this video. No, I'm just kidding.
Just really do a deep dive.
Or am I kidding?
Like, do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
Dude,
I mean, listen, I always...
The editors at the Daily Wire are actually cringe for this. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? You should be on the side of the person that's taking free speech, but... Okay, this is the reason why Candace Owens is thriving now, because she can actually say what she wants.
always say don't apologize, just move on with your life, and she apparently has really taken that idea to heart. Now,
Yeah, and you should be happy about that, right? Because that's your own advice.
right after that video was posted, she got kicked off of TikTok, took everything over to Twitter, where a certain sect of people on the right started to get behind her
Based, as you do, of course. Dude, you can get banned on TikTok for anything.
in the name of free speech, which
Also, conservatives are used to being banned for their opinions, especially on Facebook and TikTok. So you shouldn't act like that's some sort of moral judgment.
obviously, if
We know from the Twitter files that people were being censored across the board by the federal government for what they think and say. Individuals.
we're going to have free speech, it all needs to be free. People need to be able to say things that are going to offend people or make other people angry. But like this is what you want to rally behind? It seems absurd, and it seems like this girl really just...
Do women not understand comedy? Is that the biggest issue here? Comment your thoughts below. I think that actually is a very big hurdle. But then on the other side of it, the person who's being funny is this woman. And she's either completely serious in what she's saying, which would make it funnier, or she's acting, which is also still very funny.
just wants attention. Like, based on her videos, she seems to be begging for it. Like, she's begging more than my dogs do every morning for their rough greens.
You will never catch me doing an ad like that for the Daily Wire. Oh my god, this girl literally is trying to get your attention to make money. Anyway, buy this all-green natural product for dogs.
Interestingly, though, a lot of black people, at least on Twitter, didn't seem to care whatsoever. Like, this was the
Yeah,
comment
because we understand the culture has changed. And we have Andrew Tate saying the N-word with the hard R every single tweet, and it's hilarious. He's black, by the way.
under one of her videos. She's good looking enough to get the pass in my book. The Hodge twins even quote
Whoa.
whoever. Like,
That's funny.
This was the comment section under one of her videos. She's good looking enough to get the pass in my book. The Hodge
Based.
twins even quote tweeted her and said, "Black people are ready to hang this white girl because she said the N-word in a video. Why do we act so weak and fragile? We ready to burn it all down over a white girl saying our word, but then we're silent when politicians send $100 billion to foreign countries."
Yeah, well, the Marxist ideology requires people to reject objective parameters and insist that the only thing that can define importance is victimhood. And so anything that baits outrage where a person can claim victimhood, that's like finding gold. Because then you can say, this is important, and I'm a good person because I'm being oppressed. Leftists spend all of their time doing that and not actually trying to improve anything, which is the reason why you see the country failing so hard right now.
I think that goes for everyone, regardless of race. I mean, we get so caught up in ridiculous social beef.
So then you should agree with her, Brett. You should agree. You shouldn't have a problem with what she's saying. But maybe this video is also about exposing the overlords over there at the Daily Wire.
Yes, when our government is literally pulling the rug out from under us. So, you know what? He made a good point. Somebody else said, I respect the honesty. If you truly don't care, then it's honorable to truly show how much...
Dude, okay, the title of this video is This Is Not Trad Wife Behavior. So she is against this behavior. But all the tweets that she's reading are pro this behavior, which is completely unusual for any other video she does. Even when she criticized Fresh and Fit incoherently, or Andrew Tate incoherently, and I made videos on that, she read tweets of people that were supporting her position, but she's reading tweets that don't support her position. See what I'm saying? So she knows that her position is unpopular, and most people agree with this girl.
Much you don't care. As a black man, I tip my hat off to her. Somebody else said, y'all give the N-word too much power. I could care less. If she's racist, who cares? I see many racist black folks who go unchecked. Worry about yourselves and not other people so
A
much.
lot. Oh my gosh, dude. The first day of Juneteenth, there were black people like posting videos on Twitter of like throwing white people into subways and stuff. Like, it was crazy.
Another girl said, LMFAO, good on her. How many words a day do I hear about whites? Colonizers, moon crickets, etc., etc., etc. It goes both ways. You know what? Neither of those women are wrong.
So then what is your problem with this?
Yeah. And per usual, it was the white liberals on TikTok that were more upset about her video than anyone else, which...
What did I say about trying to mine gold for victimhood? Oh my gosh, we're victimized! Oh my god, we're good people! We're divorced and buying wine and cat food!
just always cracks me up because, like, y'all are the ones keeping the racial divides alive. But anyway.
And then they're also the ones assaulting 12-year-old conservatives who are holding American flags. I made a video on that, 3 days ago? Go check out that video. Completely crazy. Deranged liberal white women are the worst.
Moving on, Lilly has kept going. She has leaned into her newfound social media fame, which she probably needs because she was promptly fired from her job.
Why are you smiling when you say that, Brett? Why are you smiling when you say that?
And then here's the announcement from them. She was apparently working a sales job.
Why is that? Why do you think that's good? It's not good.
At a home health care company, and they basically said that the business is owned by a black woman. So very bold to publish that.
Bro, what is this disgusting cringe stuff? Is Brett Cooper trying to take the liberal position here? We do not need censorship. Censorship is evil.
Anyway, they said, it's owned by a black woman. Her video does not align with the values of the company. They believe in the principles of equality and understanding and will continue to foster that. And in response to that hitting the internet, Lilly posted, "Oh no, I just got fired, #mob." And then, this is where it gets even worse. She posts,
What do you mean worse? You've been smiling this entire time because you know this is funny.
"Thanks, black community, for helping launch my new career in conservative media. You all played your role well like the puppets that you are."
Hold up.
I mean, hello. What? And she's not just saying that as a joke, guys.
Dude. Okay, but why do you have a problem with this? She's being funny.
Because suddenly she's getting interviewed on InfoWars and other right-wing networks. Obviously, she went viral. People are talking about her, and you're able to kind of spin this into a conversation about free speech. But these are our standards now. Saying the N-word, getting canceled and fired from your job, and then suddenly you're getting booked on podcasts.
No, don't be naive. Just saying the N-word, there are racists that do that all the time. The reason this went viral is because she's a hot girl being funny, playing to an obvious cultural problem of immense racial tensions that have been amplified and created by the left in order to garner counterfeit virtue points. That's the reason why this is big. It's obvious to anyone that even looks at what she has to say. If you think that girl is genuinely a part of the KKK, then your brain's, broken.
Standards should be higher than that.
She's laughing and smiling while she's recording this video. She knows that it's funny.
This is the bare minimum. And I say that as somebody who doesn't just have a stick up my butt. I watched some of her videos.
No, okay, see, she knows how this is gonna be perceived. Wrong.
I have chuckled like this one.
So all those nerds in high school, the weird theater kids and the anime people and ugh.
Also, I can laugh at this.
The anime people.
Because I was a weird theater kid.
Oh yeah, I knew a ton of those, especially at the... Okay, so guys, I went to the same radical left-wing high school that Elon Musk sent his son to, who became his daughter, if you know what I'm saying. I recorded a video on that. It was one of my first videos on the channel, actually. But at that school, it was for the arts and sciences. But the arts were a lot bigger than the sciences, and the theater kids were essentially the jocks. It was really weird. But at a normal high school, I'm told that, the athletes are the popular ones. And that makes sense, biologically, right? Because they're taller and bigger, etc. But at my school, the theater kids were the jocks. They were the popular ones. They were the ones with the biggest friend groups, etc. And everyone hated the theater kids because they were just so cringe and weird. They thought they were better than you. And what's funny was all of their parents were celebrity actors because all the people that went to my school were the offspring of movie stars. So they really thought that they were something, you know what I mean? It was really bad. But yeah, I agree that theater kids, they should be bullied,
I'm not offended. Anyway, I'll let her continue.
Bro, Brett, see? Because
I was a weird theater kid.
Kids and the anime people and ugh.
Also, I can laugh at this because I was a weird theater kid.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can tell. We know you were a theater kid, Brett. You were one of the good ones, though. You were one of the ones that, hung out with the other kids because you weren't quite as hot as the girls who really were just, wearing Lululemons every single day, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, continuing.
I'm not offended. Anyway, I'll let her continue.
You know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world of nerds. Those dorks that never got laid in high school, and they've got a major chip on their shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these fat ass...
It's true.
Making laws. Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones inventing clown world. They're the ones in media. They're the actors.
They're the ones propagating the anti-reality stance, anti-objective coherence mentality that permeates the left. It's true, because they think that their theater kid training is objective reality. Meanwhile, they come to people like me, oh, can you help me pass my science test? Yeah, sure. So this is a geology class, right? This is called a rock, and this is called a different type of rock. Oh, but how'd you know that? Because I'm not worried about my irrelevant rendition of Shakespeare in the upcoming theater that 15 people are going to go to, but pay hundreds of dollars per ticket because their parents are millionaires.
You know why actors are so politically leftist? Oh, right. It's because they're loser theater kids. It's time to put the motherfucking nerds...
Dude, I wish I went to a school where the theater kids were considered... I mean, they were considered widely losers, I guess. But They were way too popular for their own good.
back in their place, stand the up.
True! Based! Yes! Correct! Brett, if you don't agree with that, there's something wrong with you.
It's so complicated because there's so much.
Dude, all of our producers are nodding and saying based by the camera. I guarantee it. And she sees that and she knows that this girl's completely correct. Why are we having two hot conservative girls disagree with each other on the right? We don't need that. We just don't need that. Brett, you should conform to this new standard. Start using the N-word. No, I'm kidding. But for real, there shouldn't be a disagreement because everything she just said is objectively true.
That I don't agree with there, and I'm just like, we should not be basing our political landscape on who got laid in high school. But she's not wrong.
No, she's again being funny because she's making a broader point here. That the people on the left don't care about objective reality, which is completely true.
We should all stand up and be bold in our convictions, and that it's ridiculous that these people are making laws and, policing our speech, but also I still don't agree with...
No, the theater kids were raised by morally relativistic parents. That's something I saw too. In the ethics class, there were people that literally said, there's no such thing as right and wrong, because then we would be accountable. We'd be accountable to a greater moral system. It's no accident that the left has aligned themselves with the postmodernists that say and the postmodernist belief set is that there's no better and worse ways of interpreting the world. So when someone wants to be their own god and say, I can decide what's good and what's wrong, I can decide what's better and what's worse, not the objective landscape, not reality, I can decide, then of course they're going to be leftist. And in my high school, most of them were theater kids because their parents, who were also in entertainment, weren't forced to engage in reality. But you know what's funny? There were a couple billionaires that sent kids to that school, and the billionaires' kids were fiscally conservative, but socially extremely left-leaning, extremely leftist. That was very interesting to see because to become a billionaire, you have to engage in levels of objective reality that are concrete. And that's why they're fiscally conservative.
But how you're saying this and the accusations that you're throwing around, especially as a former theater kid that does not do any of that stuff. But back to the point, while people might chuckle at videos like this and find
Except you kind of are doing that right now, a little bit. Because you're complaining that she has a platform that people on the right are rallying behind her. And you're not looking at actually what she's saying in truly good faith. Because if you were, you would be agreeing with her and explaining what I just explained.
It's funny and give her lots of clicks. None of this is serious or should be taken seriously. Like, I think that she is somebody who just does not care.
I disagree. There is a level of seriousness to it yet again. The left who claims to be good people as a result of stirring racial divisions should be mocked so that we can all see that their paradigm is false. You're not a good person as a result of being a victim. That's a lie.
To be a firebrand and willing to be a troll just to get clicks. Like, none of us know if she is actually principled or has...
I think the video that you just played actually is not her being a troll. She's being serious. Because I completely agree with that, actually.
Good values. She is just saying very clickable things that desperate people on social media will be able to cling on to for 5 minutes. I can't believe I have to say
like
this.
Like you, right? Like you're making a video about this. But it's not even a good faith video. So you're worse than her right now. Also, some would argue maybe less hot. Wait, I haven't seen the girl she's making this video about, like, turn around, if you know what I mean. She does have a lot to compete with Brett Cooper, so, you know.
But that is not a good strategy for her or for the political right. Now, another thing that bothered me about this whole situation, this probably bothered me more than anything else, was the way that the mainstream media spun this story. Because they have now painted her as a quote-unquote trad wife. And that should be offensive to every stay-at-home mom and more traditional woman out there because it is just absurd. Like, I don't know where that label came from, how they attached it to her.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, you can totally be a trad wife and still be funny. As a matter of fact, that's really, really hot and desirable. I'll be completely honest. If you have a sense of humor and you're like this, you can tell that. Another point where I disagree with Brett Cooper, you can tell that that girl does have values. You can tell that she does have a father. You can tell that she wants to be a trad wife. You can just tell. It's in the vibe. In the fact that she's willing to be so funny and not have a stick up her butt, that's an admission to her mentality, which a lot of conservative men would find really, really appealing.
Is everywhere now. I mean, read these headlines. Trad wife sales manager fired after using the N-word in foul-mouthed cooking video. Trad wife TikTok influencer fired over N-word.
So Brett Cooper's making this video to correct the headlines of irrelevant articles? I don't think so. No, she's actually threatened by this new model of base because she doesn't want to acknowledge that the company she's working for is technically anti-free speech in some very serious ways and has denied reality objectively. I made videos about that when they lied about Andrew Tate. Ben Shapiro literally said Andrew Tate doesn't tell young men to work hard and then didn't correct that blatant lie. That's like the number one thing Andrew Tate tells young men to do. So this company does lie, and they should be confronted for that.
a soul search and couldn't care less about the backlash. Trad wife Lilly Gaddis breaks silence after being fired for using the N-word in TikTok video. I mean, it is literally in every single headline. She is a trad wife influencer. Again, I have no idea. I don't think that she's married, so maybe...
What? Even her first video, you're seeing her in a kitchen apron, like making food. Very believable.
maybe she just hashtagged this in one of her videos or mentioned it, or maybe the media just saw her in an apron and went like, boom, trad.
No, she is actually attractive. I'm sorry, Brett. Objectively, she is.
Problem in that this trad wife movement on social media
A lot of conservative men would love to wife that, for sure.
has become so much more about aesthetics and a look than actually being traditional. I mean, a real traditional woman would not be online making videos disparaging people who did not get laid in high school. And
No. It's comedy with a greater point. And the point isn't even very hidden. It's pretty obvious. The left is completely counterfeit and fraudulent, is her point. And she's right.
on another note,
And we can make fun of them for that, and we will.
what people online have claimed makes and represents a trad wife isn't even what women have done traditionally. But that's a topic for another day. We can do a whole breakdown of that because
To be a trad wife, you can't just be a woman only from the 1950s. That's outdated, technically. You have to be more than that. You have to be willing to do battle and recognize the corrupt aspects that are being pushed on society by the radical left. Trad wife from the 1950s doesn't realize that Disney is trying to indoctrinate her kids into being Marxists. But that's what's happening. So you need more than just a traditional trad wife. You need one that's awake to the perils of the modern culture and is even better willing to do battle with that, which is exactly what that girl is showing. You don't have to explain to your wife about, why Disney is leftist or why Google is leftist. She should already know that if she's truly a trad wife. She should be aware of these things because we're all in this fight together.
I have thoughts, obviously. Anyway, my friend Allie on Twitter touched on this and she said, trad wife does not mean traditional wife at this point. If
Correct.
it ever
Correct. And that's right.
did. And things like this are proof. Trad wives TM are pretty conservative women in aprons with social media accounts who may or may not be married or traditional in any other sense.
No, wrong. It's an expanded conceptualization of the trad wife, which is, again, willing to do battle with the current forces of darkness represented by the degenerate left. And the definition of a trad wife will probably evolve even into the future. When there are new threats that maybe will be posed by a leftist wielding AI to further their totalitarian ambitions. Right now, we're in a war. It's about speaking out against the enemy to save civilization and to resist them. And so a woman that does that is traditional. Imagine you're at war. You're defending your house from an enemy, and your wife is handing you bullets as you're at the window shooting from the window. Is she not supposed to do that when you're in the middle of a battle? There's a battle going on. She should be doing that. So Brett Cooper's wrong about this.
Another person commented and said, it has sadly become a caricature. Very true. Another person said, we've got to stop being so liberal with the word conservative, which, again, spot on. This girl...
No, actually, the left has defined conservatives more than conservatives have defined conservatives because at this point, any person that doesn't go along with the identitarian left and buys into their intersectionalist hierarchy cult is considered on the right. If you're on the right, then you're considered conservatives interchangeably. If you're not a part of the identitarian Marxist ideology, then you are, by default, resisting the left in some sense. And make no mistake about it, those are the boundaries that have been drawn.
Lilly, she is free to say whatever she wants online. She can be a troll, she can be a firebrand, whatever. She should be allowed to do so. She can say whatever she wants. Free speech exists in this country. But just because she happened to
It doesn't exist online, as you said, because she got banned on TikTok. You smiled about that. She lost her job, and you heavily hinted that that was a good thing.
a video that angered liberals on TikTok does not mean that she should become the new representation.
So yeah, this is a dishonest reaction from Brett Cooper. I think we should have Brett and this other girl fight in an octagon, both in bikinis, and whoever wins becomes the new trad wife. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Watch Brett Cooper, react to this, be like, this guy said that I should fight him in a bikini. Oh my gosh, this is not a trad man. It's called being funny. But like all aspects of good humor, there's a hint of truth to it. We see you, Brett Cooper. Also, I feel like it does help that all of my videos, including this one, have actual substantive analysis that's rooted in the architecture of the leftist existential threat to humanity. And I explain it to people in every video. Guys, be sure to subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.